Hey y'all, what is going on? It's Giga here again. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. Today, together, we are actually going to be crafting a BPL and a League One crossover that I think is relatively affordable. They said it couldn't be done, we're gonna prove them wrong. So if you guys like this sort of thing, please consider liking the video, give the channel a little subscription button action. I would greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into it. I know we like to go ahead and just see what the squad is, so let's go ahead and let's get it done. Our first player,
if you will,
from the League One is going to be a different kind of player. We actually are going to use Tagliafico. I know that previously people were wondering about using him for Eredivisie squads, but now he plays for Lyon, and so because of that, he's a nice little left back option. And then we're actually going to go up to, oh whoops, I need to switch the formation. We're going to be going to the 4-1-2-1-2. Our left mid or left wing is going to be none other than Terrier. He's got 85 pace, 81 shooting, 75 passing, and 78 dribbling. I really think that he's going to be underrated, especially in the beginning. I think he's going to be a little clunky, don't get me wrong, but at the beginning of the game, like, you use who you can afford, and I think that he's got good links, and I think he's really not half bad. You know, we'll see how he plays in game, but we'll go from there. Our forward from the League One is actually going to be Luis Suarez. Yes, Suarez. 85 pace, 77 shooting, 75 dribbling. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward. He's even got 80 physicals, which is a really big deal, especially going into FIFA 23. It seems like physicality is going to be pretty important. So we've got 3 players from the League One right here, but we're actually going to continue on. We're going to be going ahead and throwing Laborde in here, who's more of a power forward kind of player. He got player of the month, I think 2 or 3 times last year. So he's bumped up to an 81 rated this year. He's got 81 shooting, so he can certainly finish. If he ends up getting 4-star weak foot, he's certainly going to be usable in the beginning of the game. If he's got 3-star, it's going to be, you know, I would upgrade this card pretty quick otherwise, but we'll see how it goes. And then you're probably saying to yourself, Giga, where on earth is the BPL or EPL players? Where are they? So let's go ahead, let's get one of them in here. We're actually going to be going ahead. Let's go to goalkeeper. We're actually going to be throwing Ramsdale in net, who I think is going to be an excellent goalie early on with 83. I think it's diving? No, I'm not even going to try to. I'm not even going to try to get the stats right. I know that I have them wrong. I think that his stats are pretty well rounded for a goalie. He's not the tallest goalie, but we'll see how he plays. So we're going to be using him, and then to get along with this Arsenal team, we're going to be throwing in Saliba, who is perfect for the French crossover between the 2 leagues. 78 pace, 80 defense. I think that early on he'll be a few thousand coins, but I don't think that he'll last for that long. I think that he's going to be definitely usable. I think that people are going to enjoy using the card, and it leads into our other center back, who's, believe it or not, from the BPL, not the League One, and we're going to be using Fofana from Chelsea. 75 pace, 81 defense. And so I don't think that this card's gonna be super amazing or anything, but he's certainly affordable. Chelsea, French, like, what more could you ask for when it comes to links? We're gonna go into the right back spot, and for our right back choice, we're gonna be choosing the cheaper option of Gusto. I think that Gusto is gonna be really overhyped right at the beginning, but he's gonna drop off pretty quick because he's a 75 rated with basically only pace. And so because of that, I don't think that he's gonna be super expensive. If y'all want a different option that's slightly more expensive, you can also go with Klaus here. We'll have to check at the end if you can do, there's one more here, if you can actually put Reece James here instead. But or you could try Mukiele, but you'll have to do the player switch, so we'll check at the end. We'll go back to the League One. We're actually, we're going to be clicking on Veritute here, who's severely underrated because he's a gold common card, but he's Hullet Gang in the 70s. Certainly good, and I will definitely be trying to use him early on in FIFA because I think that he just is a great CDM, going into the game at least. Obviously, these stats don't line up halfway through the year. We're going to go to our right mid, actually. I keep clicking that button, but anyway, it's Saka who's going to be our right mid again, linking with Ramsdale and Saliba. Looking very nice. Now we're starting to get some real good chemistry. I think Saka's going to be one player that is potentially hyped up, especially if he gets a really good game and he might be in a team of the week. I think people will buy him up. What'll end up happening is if he goes in team of the week, his supply gets cut off and then he will get expensive. So if you can, he's one card that I think we should really try to get early on. Same with Saliba. I think Saliba's another one where if he's going to get a team of the week and end up being like an 82 or an 83 and then he gets cut off in terms of price because there's no supply of him anymore, get him early on. Like, I think these two are perfect examples of those kinds of cards. I should go ahead and put Gusto here because we already talked about him. But then our final player is the Cam. And the Cam, there's a few variations in this, all around the same pricing, at least in my opinion. And the first one that I was looking at was actually what was his name? Havertz. And so Kai Havertz has 81 pace, 79 shooting, 79 passing, and 84 dribbling. I think of him very similar to Brandt from BVB, I think it was last year, who is also either 84 or 82 rated. He was pretty like Cam average like this. You know, he's got 4-star, 4-star. If Havertz has 5-star, that's even better. We'll see. But so this is one option. We can put him on the bench for a second. Another option is actually his partner in crime, Mason Mount. And he's got a little more shooting and passing, but he's got, 82 and 84 dribbling is about the same. I think it matters more about their stock in game, like their player character, their avatar, how they move. So we'll have to see how that goes. And then if you really want to, and so these are all still on full chemistry, but if you really want to go with this, then the final option you can go with is the big O, and that is none other than Odegaard. And Odegaard, if he's got 5-star skills, I think that will be kind of like the game changer. And he's also got 86 passing, which, obviously puts him at the top of the list there, but his shooting is a lot worse. You get to pick who you want between all those. If you want the more like actual fluid passer on Cam, I would pick Odegaard. If you want the guy who's actually going to help a little bit on defense, but might not be as inclined, going forward, I would choose Mount. And then if you want a Cam who's really more about like standing inside the box and turning and finishing, then I would pick Havertz personally. We'll see how all that works out, but this is more or less the crux of the team. The one thing that we were going to check was if we could put Klaus here. I think Klaus works just fine. We were also going to check the guy from Chelsea. I can't remember his name. James does not work. Tagliafico will be off. So it would need to be someone from the League One. And so the people from the League One are Klaus, Gusto, and Mukiele. So if Gusto is really expensive just because he's got the pace height, then Mukiele does not work, actually. Really? So how do we get... Oh, because they're from Lyon. They're both from Lyon. I see. That is how that would work. But otherwise, guys, I hope that gives you some insight. It is possible to actually make a cheap League One and BPL squad. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to continue on. We've got 3 days left of our squad builders. I actually have one already in store following tomorrow. It's going to be a much more expensive squad. It's going to be a sub 1 mil squad. But the idea behind it was that you had to try and spend like 300k in each segment. So forwards, midfields, and defenders. And so it's funny how it ended up lining up. But if you guys want to see that, again, please consider subscribing to the channel so you guys can get notified when that happens. And otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Have a good one.